My name is Farah June, and welcome to the all-new show, Fahrenheit TV. So excited to be back for season 5 of our show. And this year, we're going to do things a little differently. Fahrenheit TV. Since 2014, we've been putting people in the spotlight who live in their greatness. Whether they're expressing themselves through their art, their activism, or their work, we're inspired by those who choose to live audaciously. Season 5 is here, and although we're temporarily out of the TV studio, we're committed to continue to bring you stories that will uplift your soul. Catch all of our new monthly episodes right here on our YouTube channel. Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Fahrenheit TV. We are back for season 5, and I am so excited because, as you know, we love having artists on our, now virtual platform. And one of them is an Atlanta-based artist that got to visit our home in Boston, spread a little bit of his greatness there. And I had to reach out. I was like, I can't let this moment go on without reaching out to an incredible artist who is making music that makes you happy, that has a message, that has full of pride, full of sass, attitude and all of that greatness. And so without further ado, I am so excited to welcome to the Fahrenheit TV platform, Ty Valentino.
Woo, 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 woo. Keep it cute. What's up,
Keep it
y'all?
cute.
What's up?
Keep it cute. Well, welcome, Ty. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us this evening. As you know, this is season 5. We are so excited to continue this platform, and again with great artists like you. So
congratulations to you. 5 seasons. You know how many things don't make the 5 seasons?
I know. It is an accomplishment, but
Girl, pat your stuff on the back.
You're right. Well, thank you, Ty. And to get right back to you, before we get into talking about your artistry and your work that you're doing, I wanted to just kind of check in on you. We've been surviving an ongoing pandemic for over a year now. I can't believe it's been over a year. And, so many things have changed around the world. Now we have a vaccine, but, COVID cases are still going up, and all across the world. And, it's still a subject that's very sensitive to people. So I just wanted to check in with you and see how you're doing. How have you, found peace during this quarantine life? And, what lessons did you learn in 2020 that you took into this new year?
Quarantine has been a roller coaster for me. It's crazy. I made a big move. I moved to Boston in the middle of the quarantine. Last August. And that was crazy. Then I found out I had COVID literally the day after I moved to Boston.
Oh my God. I didn't even know that you are a COVID survivor. I'm so happy that you are.
Yeah,
Wow.
I wasn't one of the bad cases that had I literally just for when I moved, Massachusetts had the regulations that you had to have a COVID test before you could fly in, and I didn't know how strong the regulations was. I didn't know if I was gonna get stopped at the plane, sir, where's your test? So I took a test literally 2 days before I flew to Boston. My big move, all my stuff. And
big
my
ups to
job
you from moving during a pandemic. I feel like I would have been so scared to do any of that.
The funny thing is, the moving during the pandemic wasn't the problem. The moving and leaving my family, that was the biggest problem. But when I moved, I found out literally the day I landed, I found out I had COVID. And I was I felt iffy because I didn't have no symptoms, nothing I could smell, I could still eat, I wasn't coughing, I didn't have none of that. Wow. But it was crazy because my job, when I first moved here, they said that we had to quarantine for 14 days. So before I even moved into my apartment with my roommates and everything, they had me in a hotel in Boston, downtown, the Boston Marriott. It was
wow.
So when I found out I had COVID, I was like, well, at least you already quarantined. So
exactly. Because I guess it worked out in your favor. Wow. That's the thing I think a lot of people don't realize. And we're always saying on our platform, wear your mask, because sometimes you don't have symptoms. I'm glad you didn't. You are one of the lucky in, rare cases, but wow. It's crazy how the universe kind of mapped out everything to keep you safe.
Yeah, and it's crazy to me because I am from Atlanta. Atlanta's home. That's my baby, and everybody knows
Yeah.
that Atlanta's probably the openest place when it comes to
Yeah.
regulations and not being shut down.
Yeah.
So when I moved to Boston from having a quote unquote hot boy summer during the pandemic, and then I'm like, of course, I'm not surprised you have COVID, girl. You was partying with the folks in Atlanta. But I'm so happy and thankful to God that it wasn't a serious case. I didn't have to go through all the stuff that a lot of people have, like death and just
Yes.
sickness. I'm happy I didn't have to go through that. But it was a really learning experience, and Boston changed me. Boston's the reason I wear masks, because
Yeah.
when I got there, y'all don't play.
Yeah.
First day there, I was like, before I even found out my test results, I had just arrived and went to my hotel. I was like, Mama, everybody wear masks here. They wear their masks. They be walking wearing masks.
Yeah.
I had never seen that, because in Atlanta, it was hard for people to wear masks inside, let alone walking down the street. Y'all
Yeah,
don't
they're
play.
very rebellious. Yeah,
Boston
that's
wear their masks.
crazy. Yeah.
Boston wear their masks. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, that must have been a very big culture shock, like going from like a rebellious type of, free energy spirit to like, nope, you better have a mask on. You ain't coming in here. We don't care, blah blah blah. Yeah. Wow. I'm so happy that like the universe mapped that out for you to keep you safe and keep you like away from people as well,
Yeah.
because you never know, just because you didn't show symptoms, like maybe other people, could have had it worse and it could have made yours worse. Like,
You never know. And it's so, because it's unpredictable. Nobody knows for real.
Exactly, exactly. Well, wow. Oh, big ups to you for moving again to Boston. I know you were teaching out here, so obviously we love and I appreciate our teachers out here. But wow, I'm glad that you were able to survive that and keep going. But one of the things I noticed and why I'm so interested in hearing about your artist story is that during quarantine you made a lot of music.
Whatever you do, sis, keep it cute, sis. Whatever you do, sis, keep it cute, sis.
Running through these niggas, running through these niggas, running through these niggas, running through these niggas. Caught me hula hoop the way this ass moving circles. Mozzarella stick when I'm on the dick, bitch. Hair pop like a skittle, do you wanna taste? Rainbow got gold, it's your lucky day. What be like a charm, rock me on your left arm. Yeah, quarantine, it put a lot into focus, because before I made the big move, I literally went 5 months without working. I was one of the unemployment people. I was one of the people that literally woke up one day and my job was closed.
Yeah, me too.
And I wasn't scary about trying to how to figure out navigate life, because I'm still a home nester. I'm the baby of 5, so my parents don't want me to go anywhere. So I'm gonna be here probably until they really want me to go somewhere. But so it wasn't about, my living situations or how I was gonna make it. I was literally like, God, I can't go nowhere. Like,
yeah, especially for a young person who has a lot of charisma and energy like you. Oh my
yeah,
God.
me, I'm a whole artist in these streets.
Yeah.
You're
And like
like,
artists need to be out. Like you need to be performing with other people. You need to be collaborating with other people. I get it. I get it. It's
so a lot of music came out of quarantine just because I had time. To be honest
yes.
with you.
Well, before we dig into, your albums and your singles that you have out, I mean, Keep It Cute is one of my favorites right now.
Keep sis,
But
keep it, keep it.
I love that song. But before we get into, talking about, your incredible work, your growing work, I wanted to just ask you, like, just take it back, Throwback Thursday, taking it back to like, when did you first discover your love for music, and like, who were the
Okay,
artists, living or ancestors that you look up to and found inspiration in?
so my parents and my grandparents, I have to give them music. Music is just how, like, I don't know how to do anything without music. I cook, I have to listen to music. I'm chilling, I have to listen to music. I'm driving, I'm running, I'm walking. Music is always in my ear. I bought these AirPods and I get my $200 worth.
Amen.
Um,
Period.
So I had to thank them, because not only did they introduced me to just music, they introduced me to everything, from my dad, who loves the Ghetto Boys, and he had a stint in where he lived in California, so he has like a West Coast rap feel also. To
Yeah.
my mom, who loves Minnie Riperton, and she also loves Too Short. So you could really hear la 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 la.
Uh-huh.
You can hear so much. You can hear that, and then you can hear what's my favorite word. Like, it was just like, it was, yeah. So it was just like, you never know what you was gonna hear from my
Mhm.
daddy loving Anita Baker. It
Wow.
was
So like those R&B hip hop
yeah,
influence. I love how like the variety of that. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
so
yeah.
different.
It was
So.
so open.
Mm-hmm.
And I just always loved music. I was always been told that I was a person with an older spirit because
Yeah.
of the type of
So
music that
so.
I loved. But I just thought it was the music that my grandparents like. I spent a lot of time with them, like when my parents was at work or something. Those were my babysitters, my grandparents. So
Aw.
like the music that they listened to, like that to me, I didn't see nothing wrong with it. Yeah, I knew the music on the radio, but I also knew the music on the old school station, the old school station. Like I knew everything. And my grandmother, she used to play a lot of blues, and I just started getting appreciation for it now that I'm of age because the blues is nothing but problems. And
Yeah.
at 10 and 11 and 9 and 7, I didn't have them type of problems. My baby didn't speak to me. I wasn't so sad. I didn't know how I was gonna pay no. I didn't have those problems, so it didn't correlate with me. But yeah,
Yeah.
now blues is
Which good thing it didn't. Good thing it did it. Yeah.
and now blues definitely correlates with me.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting how you were able to like kind of grow with all of those variety of music around you, and and you could tell that you have those influences when you listen to your music catalog. Like you give us a little bit of hip hop, a little bit of R&B, a little bit of poetry. I mean, like you come with it. You know what I mean? But I want to also know, when was the moment that you decided I want to be an artist myself? Like I've been, you were surrounded by all of these artists that your grandparents and your parents listen to. But when did you decide I want to be an artist?
Um, hmm, I used to do poetry. I used to do poetry. I used to do poetry. I still do poetry, but poetry was my entryway into being an artist. And I realized I loved how I could say a lot and say nothing at all, or say nothing at all and say a lot.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
like the fact that I could give you similes and metaphors, and I loved when I performed the reaction I got from people. People liked it, my poetry,
Mhm.
and I like that type of attention. And I said, I'm really good at this poetry thing. But I didn't start taking music or writing seriously until I went to prison.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, in prison, like you have a lot of time to do nothing.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
spend a lot of time
Entertain.
with your yeah, you spend a lot of time with yourself. So I used to always write. And at this time I thought I was gonna be a writer. I didn't think I was gonna be a rapper. I thought I was gonna be a writer
Mhm.
for some R&B singer because I was so sad. And so I was writing nothing but sad songs. And I might have a little church song every once in a while, but all my songs were about love and bad relationships and
Mhm.
just bad feelings. And so I was like, I was gonna come home from prison and I was gonna find me a singer and I was gonna make her an album and it was gonna be the saddest, best written album ever.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was my plan. But girl, I came home and it was something in me. So I said, I got a story. Why can't I tell my story? And who can tell my story better than
Thank
me?
you.
I'm not gonna write my story for somebody else. I'm gonna write my story for me.
Mhm.
So
Do you
yeah.
think, like during that time while you were incarcerated, that like it gave you a moment to kind of like release, you know what I mean? Because when you're talking about, like you said, you were like talking about bad relationships and all these other stuff, it almost seems like it was kind of like therapeutic for you to just let it out. You know
It
what
was me talking about how I got to the situation I was in,
I mean?
but not from an I perspective. It was me writing for somebody else.
Ooh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, so like every song that I got 5 like songbooks I got from prison, like
Mm.
thick books I just wrote, and and all of them I just every song in there is coming from somewhere of how I got there, or it might have been a situation I was going through, or it might have been a situation that somebody that I had interaction with was going through. And
Mhm.
that's something I was working on. I was learning to project. If I could project my life on somebody else, why could somebody tell me their story and I project it another way? So
Yeah,
I was trying to write on my working skills. I work on my writing skills.
yeah.
I didn't know what was gonna happen, but I said I ain't got nothing but time, so why not?
Yeah, make the most of it. I think that's beautiful because I think you could have took that bad situation and just and came out and just had, kind of just bad energy, but I feel like you took that situation, you're like, all right, I'm gonna grow from this and I'm gonna tell my story, and I'm also gonna use my gift, because I think it's a gift when people trust you to tell you, their personal stories, to tell their stories, because it could impact somebody else's life, which I think your music is impacting other people's lives. And as it gets bigger and bigger, it really is, I think. And thank you for sharing that with us, because I know that must have been a very challenging time in your life.
I was young, dumb, looking for love, but that's a whole nother story, girl.
Hey, we all make mistakes. I think it's just beautiful that you grew from it. No judgment here. Again, thank you for sharing that. So, okay, so you told us that story. You're out, you have all these like basically notebooks full of like lyrics that you've been writing. And now you're thinking about, all right, I want to release this, I want to make music out of this. So, okay, I wanted to like kind of understand where your inspiration came from, because I know it also comes from like your personal life, but I also want to know, like, you grew up in ATL. ATL is home.
Oh, baby.
Yes, home. ATL up in the
I'm an
house.
ATL shotty.
Hey, cutie. I want to say, like, did the culture of ATL influence your music at all? You know what I mean? Because when I think of like the South, I'm not from Atlanta, but when I think of the South, I always think of like, like gritty, like Southern hip hop, but I also think of like bounce music. I mean, the South has a whole variety of music, but so I wanted to know, did that influence you in terms of thinking of like, how am I going to take the words, all these words that I've written down, and combined it with, musical tracks?
Well, I'll say this. My favorite Atlanta rappers, my favorite Atlanta rappers, number one is Andre 3000.
Oh my God. He's so fine, but also he's so damn talented. Oh yes, I love
Girl,
I
just
love his
think.
spirit too. Like I love the way he dresses.
Yeah,
I love how he just like kills tracks
I
every
love Andre
time.
2000.
Oh my
And I love how much he guards his artistry. His artistry is so guarded. Like, and I'm not saying anybody else does it. I'm just saying the way he moves is just so particular, and it just makes you like, he makes you want more, even when you didn't know you wanted more. He releases, he's on a song. He doesn't even release music anymore. He features on the song maybe once a year. So once a year we get something from Andre 3000.
And it's not
It's
enough.
always like a breath of fresh air, and it's like, it's amazing. But number two is 2 Chainz.
Ooh, yes.
Okay, so the reason why I love 2 Chainz is because 2 Chainz was originally supposed to be a basketball star. He's 6'5", he can play basketball really well. Life happened, he turned to a drug dealer. But he also knew he could do music. He knew music was his thing. It just wasn't what was paying the bills.
Yeah.
So he did what he had to do. And I love that because, I'm one of those people that understand that life happens. And sometimes you don't get to do what you want to do at first. But if you keep doing life right, you should be able to get to do what you want.
Hey, what they say, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, right?
Amen.
So, yeah.
And so, and my last, but definitely not least, I love Future.
Yes. I mean, all three of those people, they make like music that's going to last for a long time.
Yeah, he's a Scorpio, so I think we automatically
fellow
there.
Scorpio in the house. Hey, yeah. Look at us.
So I love Future. He's a Scorpio. And I feel like everybody says he's toxic, and maybe he is, but I understand everything he be saying when it comes to like relationships and love and how he feel about people. Like, because I went through those feelings, and like I'm there with him, and apparently a lot of people else are, because he's one of the biggest artists in our generation right now. So
exactly.
So when I think of Atlanta, when I think of them, I think of that. I think about how Andre he sings. Lord knows I wasn't blessed with vocals.
But
so
you
I
were singing on a track that we're going to talk about. You were singing on TMSB. I'm definitely going to ask you about that, because I love that track.
No, but see, okay, on that track, that's not me singing. That's my best friend, Ty.
I'm Ty. We super duper fly.
That's like my bestest bitch, and like that's like my musical brother. Like, we're so like this when it comes to music. Like, anything that you've ever heard from me since that song we've done together is influenced by him, because like he has an ear. He's such a great artist. His voice is amazing. So that's Ty.
Okay.
But yeah, so if I wish I could sing, but I love melodies. I rap. I give you what I can through my rap. And I feel like sometimes I can't voice that because I don't sing. And I feel like sometimes you need a harmony. Sometimes you just need a harmony. And the only person that I feel like has successfully gave me a great album who's J. Cole. J. Cole gave you a great album with no features on it and no harmonies. He rapped the whole album, and that hasn't happened in a long. And he went #1.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, yeah, so I don't have that ability to sing. So
not yet. Let's just say not yet, because I think you're growing.
Unless the standard of music changes for vocalists, I will never be considered a singer.
Well, you never know though. People make it work. Like I feel like you know how they had like autotune, like T-Pain and all those other people can't really sing.
But T-Pain really can sing.
Oh, really? I never heard him sing. Like I always heard him like.
T-Pain is like a church boy. He can really sing.
Oh, okay. See, I never seen like that side of him. I always thought it was just like, all right, the autotune.
Because the time he was hot, autotune was what it is, and he just knew how to do it right. Yeah. But he really sing. T-Pain can sing.
Oh, okay. So I need to, after this interview, look up a YouTube of, T-Pain singing.
Yes.
But I feel like, but I guess what my point is saying that is like people use tools to, make whatever, whatever like gift they have, better. So I feel like you're gonna find something, even if you can't sing, you're gonna find something that's gonna, make it somewhere where you want it to be. And again, like you collaborating with other artists like Butterfly Ty and all these other people, like it's gonna be awesome. So I think you'll make it work, because just listening to your music catalog along, which we might as well just get right into the music, but listening to your music catalog along, like I have to say, you could definitely see the progress in production, in your confidence, in the music quality as you listen on to from album to album. Or
I literally just had this conversation. All my music has been mixed and mastered and recorded by the same person. My whole career I've only worked with one person. His name is Rock, Rockstar Rock. Ricochet Styles in La Tonya is his studio, and I trust him, and I think I know he trusts me, and he's very vocal with what I'm given. It's not like I show up, I have a song, I've written, and so I just present myself, and he makes sure myself is presented the best. Like, Ty, no, that's not the right. Come down, go up. I need you to ad lib right here, or mix. And then his production skills got better. Great, if you ask me. If you listen to my first project, Miseducation of Control.
Yes, what we're gonna talk about.
We came a long way to my latest single, Keep It Cute.
Yes, I think so.
Production quality, my delivery, my what I give, all of that has changed. So we've grown together. So yeah. You're right.
Well, I love it because, now that like I know we're both Scorpios, and I know we love like transformation is like one of our like gifts. Yeah. I see that transformation, so like it's only like higher from here. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I love that, and I see the caterpillar becoming the butterfly. I feel like you're on that journey. So let's talk about your EP, Miseducation of Control. Can you please share with us like the process behind building that and building and creating this album, and kind of like what message you want to give, because there's so many topics you talk about throughout that album. And of course I'm going to ask you about some of my favorite songs, but I kind of want to know what brought you there to like releasing this.
I love Lauryn Hill. I feel like she's the best rapper, period. I don't care what anybody says, because it's not a discussion to me. I love Lauryn Hill. Yeah. So the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, to me, is the best rap album ever. And to a lot of other people, because she won so many Grammys for one project. And they would have been sampling so many of the songs still today. So many times. About it. She's on tour still for that one album. I mean, come on. Right. One. Who, wrote an album 21 years ago and still toured off of it. Exactly. No one else but Lauryn. She's the greatest. Even if she'd be a little late to the shows, I still will go see her. That's the thing. She has her problems, like every human has a problem. Yeah. But that's how you know she's still timeless, because guess what? If she wasn't so good, people wouldn't want to deal with her anymore. Exactly. Facts. And I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying that's the truth. Mm-hmm. So when I think of music, I think of Lauryn. I feel like that's my favorite album from start to finish. Mm-hmm. And in that album, she talks about when she was working on writing that album, she was going through a breakup. Mm-hmm. She was trying to figure out who she was as an adult solo because she had just left a group.
Yep.
She didn't know where her standing was. She didn't know who was right for her, who wasn't, because everything she had done had been attached to a group that she didn't know who she was by herself. So it was her trying to figure it out, and through it, she just released her emotions. And so I said, that's what I was going through. I came home from prison. I was 21.
Baby. I mean, you're still a baby in my eyes regardless, but yeah, you're really a baby. Yeah.
Came home. I was 21. I had a lot to say. And this album wasn't for me to prove to anybody that I could rap or that I knew about music. This was really me releasing everything I felt. Every track on that song every track on that album is an emotion. It's so emotional. And so the reason why I made the Miseducation of Control, because I felt like everybody was trying to control me. Everybody from just my parents, they wanted me to be what they wanted me to be at the time. I was rebelling against that. The world wanted me to be what I wanted to be at the time. My relationship was God. I was trying to figure out what exactly that meant for me being a gay Black man. Like, it was just a lot going on. And so I said, okay, well, we're going to try to figure it out, but at the same time, we're going to do something you love, music. So
yeah, you're going to keep it cute, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm listening to that. I mean, one of the tracks that stand out to me, there's a few, but one of them that I love is like Man in the Mirror, that song, because I feel like when you listen to Man in the Mirror, and it's I think it's like the last track on that album.
It's the last track I recorded. So
I almost killed myself, searching for some wealth, playing games with death. Had to let the shit go and get me some help. Yeah, no time to play with these niggas. I know my worth, I've seen 6 figures. The man in the mirror sees all the bullshit. Trying hard to see a lot of scratches. Never ever lazy, stinger stay ready. Clap back, gon' kill that, remember I'm crazy. Ready for a turn up, just put down the blood.
I remember recording it, I remember writing it, I remember, because everything about it was just like, I to this day say, if I went back and re-recorded music, I would re-record Man in the Mirror because the production quality would be so better, and I would make it longer because it was an outro. So you only got like one verse and a chorus. Like, you didn't get anything else. And I go in on that song.
You go in, and like when I'm listening to it, I almost feel as if I got to like be, what do they call, like a fly on the wall or something, because it's like I'm listening almost to, like, I feel like it's a confession, but it's also like a discussion you're having with God, with your future self, with your old self, with your current self. It's just like it's so deep, and again, like you said, it's short, but I guess you're kind of giving us Andre 3000 vibes, where you give us a little bit and then you're like, you pull back.
This is what it is. Sometimes, most of the time when I start a project, because I know when I'm starting a project, I know how like some people like they just making music. I be knowing if I'm gonna start a project or not. I might not say it out loud, but I be knowing it.
Yeah.
So usually, so with it being the last song on my album, it took me a year to record. I spent probably like 9 months recording Miseducation of Control.
Because it came out in 2019.
Yeah. So if you think about it, I've recorded Blue Diamond.
Yeah, Blue Diamond. Yep.
All the way back in October.
Oh, okay.
So Man in the Mirror literally got recorded the week before this project was dropped.
Oh, wow.
So that was 8 months? 8 months, 9 months of me being a newly, freshly out of prison gay Black man in Atlanta. I was grown. I was home. I was navigating. So you get Blue Diamond is my
Let's go. Home is where the heart is, mind is broke. No time for fake people. Had to learn my lessons through life's regressions. These folks just really messy. Misery, love company. No hope, you can't sit with me. Can't ride this way, you can catch this face. Serving hands, watch serving face. I been that bitch for a long, long time. Used to rob shit, had to get mine. Get it? Still chasing bags, yep, it's re-up time. Let go. Never needed a nigga for a coat sign. Never ever. I stepped out the gate to a warm embrace. Smile on the face just like Christmas Day. I had to thank the Lord for all his grace. 10 toes down in my faith. My me, the bestie. She always there, she protect me. She don't deal with my bullshit. Shit, ask bitch out if she sees fit.
Yeah, like I had to come home and show these niggas, like, I'm here now. What's up, bitch? And then my man in the mirror is okay, I'm here now, but where am I going?
Yeah, exactly. And I used to work like when I'm listening to this, I used to work at a bakery where we work with people who came home from prison, and it was interesting to see the kind of their growth and their process, because it would be that initial reaction would be like, I'm out, like, yay, finally, right? But then after maybe like 2 weeks, I would say, then like reality hits them where it's like, where am I gonna go next? And then even if you don't know where you're gonna go next, it's like the world reminds you that like you can't really run to that path. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna have so many things stop you. Some people might not be fortunate to have like family and all that, even if family's controlling, but they might not be fortunate to have, you know, those support groups around them. So it's really hard, like you said, to navigate. So that I think now that I know the story, because I had no idea, like it makes sense listening to like that song Man in the Mirror, because you really are like really like having a conversation. Like it's such a real conversation, like where am I gonna go, but also trying to figure out who you are now. You know what I mean? Like, because even 21 is so young, you're still a baby and all that. Like you are, like you said, an adult. You're still trying to navigate this world, and it's really hard with all those different, you know, like you being Black, you being a gay man, you being, you know, in the South. Yeah, exactly. Like it's so many things. Wow.
So Man in the Mirror, I love that song.
Yeah. And Blue Diamond, and I mean, there's some people need to just listen to the album from start to finish, so you can
finish. I spent a lot of time to make sure the album is structured. That's something I care about. Anybody that knows me doing my process of music, I really care about my flow of my project. Like I need you to take you high, bring you down. I need everything to flow together. So yeah.
Well, it makes sense, because when you have Lauryn Hill as an inspiration, you have to do that, right? You have to make sure that when you listen to this from start to finish, you feel
it. You feel it.
You feel it, and you really do. Fahrenheit TV.